So this is really great to see so many people participating in such a great hackathon. So today I'm here with my friend Yuvraj. We are the leaders of Team Kavach and Team Sanket respectively. So we were the winners of the last year's hackathon. Just a second. Yeah. So we were the winners of the last year's hackathon, Smart India Hackathon. And today we are here to share everything from the structure of the hackathon to how to, use some tips and tricks that we got to know while we were participating in this hack that actually led us to victory in this big hackathon. So, Yuvraj, if we could move to the next slide. Yeah, so here is the picture of the both the teams that participated in the last year's hackathon. So we all were friends from even before this hackathon began. We had to divide up into different teams, and after even that, we still ended up winning. Each team ended up winning the hackathon. And also, I would like to mention that Team Kavach also scored the highest number of selections in whole India. So our team actually had 4 selections. I'll tell you what these selections are all about. I'm sure that some of you must be very new to the concept of SIH. So while we'll discuss the structure, I'll tell you how the everything in this hackathon works. But Team Coach also had the highest number of selections across whole India. We had 4 selections to the grand finale, and then both the teams also won this hackathon, which included a prize of 1 lakh rupees each. Yeah. So if we move to the next slide, please.
Yeah, so very well introduced, Gopal. So, greetings to everyone. Good evening. I am Yuvraj from Team Sanket. And now moving on to the agenda of this meeting for which you would have been waiting. So just a second. Actually, I think there's somewhat glitch in the internet today. Just a second. Yes, so the agenda of today's meeting will include the introduction, which already my friend Gopal has given, and then we'll introduce you all to the Smart India Hackathon. Probably most of you might have been knowing what it comprises of, or how it started, or about the history and the guidelines. It is like well mentioned on the official website of Smart India Hackathon as well. And then according to our observation, according to our experience, we'll also uh, discuss few approaches that we think are best for, or maybe you can say good for like presenting in a hackathon, how to build an innovative approach and a solution, and what points you should keep in your mind while building a team, and while building presentations or videos to demonstrate your solution or your approach. And on last, I will also request our mentors, Dr. P.S. Rana and Dr. Sachin sir, and to uh, give their valuable insights, they give their valuable mentorship. And at last, we'll also have some queries and question and answer round. So basically, the structure of SIH, as you can see over here. So on 8th of August, the problem statements and the launch of this SIH took place, and the second step, which is I think important for students, is that the internal hackathon inside a college will take place, for which you need to prepare only one idea. But in the actual Smart India Hackathon on the website, you can submit up to 12 ideas. So just keep this in mind. Multiple submissions are always recommended, because in Smart India Hackathon there are around 200 to 250 problem statements, and every problem statement will comprise of around 500 teams. So there are very less chances that your idea will get selected from those 500 submissions. So we recommend that you should must go for multiple submissions.
Yuvraj, if we move back to the last slide, I'd like to add some of the points. So basically, I think we should definitely discuss a little bit more about the structure. Yuvraj, can we move back to the previous slide? Am I audible to you? Yeah. All right. So basically, I'll very clearly mention everything about the structure of the SIH. So first of all, what we have to do is you have to participate in an internal hackathon. That will happen in this college as well, and it happens across every college in India. So what happens is only the top 30 teams most of the times are allowed to participate in the real hackathon, the real Smart India hackathon. So only the top 30 teams are most of the times are allowed to actually submit the idea to the real hackathon. And how do we shortlist these top 30 teams from whole college? We have an internal hackathon in which you have to present only one of your idea. And to present that one idea, what you have to do is you have to build a very simple presentation. And that presentation has to have only 2 pages. We'll share the structure of that presentation as well to you. So after you make that presentation and you develop your idea, what you have to do is you have to participate in this hackathon, internal hackathon. If you move up from this hackathon, the top 30 teams apply to the 250 problem statements that are given by the government of India. One important thing that I would like to mention here is that if you wait for the last day, like if the deadline is 30th of maybe September or October, you are waiting for the last day. Last day is the server of SIS go down. And I really recommend that prepare your idea and submit it a week before the last deadline, that is the 31st of August, I think this time, right? So after October, I'm sorry, yeah. So after you submit your idea in the hackathon portal, every problem statement has around limit of 500 ideas. So if you have cleared your internal hackathon and you have submitted your idea into a problem statement, from all 500 participants, like 500 teams that have put their idea up in this problem statement, only 5 teams are selected to go to the final round, that is the grand finale. Yeah. So I think someone is drawing on the PPT. I would really mention that please refrain from doing that. Regardless, so only 5 teams out of 500 teams are selected to participate in the grand finale of the hackathon. And out of all those 5, only one team ends up winning the Smart India hackathon. So I'm thinking that I am very clear with the structure of the hackathon, how SIH really works. And if you have any doubts about how the process of this hackathon is working, we can have your doubts at the end of the session. So if we move to the next slide, then no, not the last. Yeah. All right. So I divided winning SIH into 3 different parts. So first of all, I think what you have to do is you have to find a very good problem statement. If you have a problem statement that a lot of people are applying to, your chances of winning that hackathon again goes down, because a lot of people will have a same solution as what you have trying to be developing, right? So sometimes choosing a good problem statement is the only thing that you need to win this kind of an hackathon. Then it is about having a feasible solution. That means something that your team with your tech stack can actually build. If you just say that you will build a great thing, but at the end when you reach the hackathon stage and you're not able to find that solution like working really well, I don't think so that will be a good thing, because you won't be able to win the hackathon at the end of the day. And finally, the most important thing is having a very good team. I think a lot of people will have a good team by now, and if you still are finding a good partner or team members, I think we have a very good portal for you as well, which Rana sir has already shared on the group. We'll share that once again with all of you so that you can find a very good team as well. So if we move to the next slide. Yeah, so here is identifying a good problem. I think that is something that most of the doubts were coming in from all of the students, all of the juniors, that how do we find good problem statements? So I think I have 2 major tips in telling you how to find good problem statements. The first is find the problem statements that are harder. If you are going for something that, if you read a problem statement and you think, yeah, so I think I should do this, which is very straightforward. I think a lot of people will think in the same way, that it is a straightforward approach to building a solution. If it is a very simple web dev project, I think you should stay away from a very simple problem statement. Otherwise, you will have been facing a lot of competition, and everyone will be thinking on the same lines, and you won't be able to stand apart. Apart from that, I think sometimes choosing a weird problem statement also really helps. For example, our team took a problem statement that was based on heritage and culture. So if you think about open innovation in heritage and culture, a lot of people think, how do we go about, developing a solution? Most of the people think I should develop an app or a game which tells about heritage sites. And if you have a good idea in such spaces, your chances of winning automatically increases a lot, right? And the most gold mine idea that we have found in finding a problem statement is something very unique. So I would recommend everyone out of 250 people that are present here to observe problems in their real lives and try to find a solution that helps them in a real life problem setting, right? So maybe you have already participated in a hackathon before, or you have a very good idea related to tech that you is not maybe a problem statement right now. You just take your idea and then start, seeing where you can apply in the problem statement as well. So take a reverse approach. Find ideas, then the problem statement. Think about an idea. Okay, I have an idea that helps student learn faster. Now then, use that idea and then search which problem statement I can fit this idea into. When you do that, you can actually stand apart much better than what will be doing after reading problem statement. Everyone thinks very straightforward how to solve this problem, and a lot of innovation is lost when you do that. So if you take the reverse approach, sometimes it is very helpful as well. So I will definitely recommend you do that. Moving to the next slide. Yeah, Yuvraj, if you would like to tell about how to craft good solutions as well.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, I would like to give the description of what a good solution looks like. So a good solution, I would say that the description of a good solution includes that if you can describe your solution in a single sentence, no matter how many times you have been asked about it. I think someone is having a question, sir.
I think we'll have the questions at the end, so
Okay,
it's fine.
yeah, sure. So if you can describe your solution in a single sentence, no matter how many times you have been asked to explain it, then it is a good solution. I think I might sound very vague, but this actually happens. So there are actually multiple rounds of judgment on the final day of the hackathon when you'll be like at your nodal centers. So if you are deviating each and every time, if you are giving vague explanations, you are not having a clarity of thought about your idea, about your approach. So that won't work. Like you can, if you can say that, okay, my solution, it works for like solving the problem of navigation in the underground tunnels. That sentence, you should must be able to frame that sentence. If you can do that, you are going in the right direction. That's it.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
basically these 3 points explain the same thing, the description of a good solution in like in its break even. So if you want, you may read it. Gopal, would you like to add something?
I think that is the perfect answer. Having a focus and a simple solution that you can tell to anyone and understands in a one line is the perfect solution that
And
a
one more
person in
thing,
a hackathon. Yeah,
one more thing, one very
definitely.
important observation. I would say observation. This is not a written theory or something which you can read over somewhere. So what I have observed in hackathons is that I might sound contradicting as well. I just said that you should must be able to explain your solution in a single sentence, but at the same time, I also say that you should must be determining the behavior of the judge. If he is getting excited from specifically 2 or 3 features in your product, if he is paying more attention towards it, just explain those features more. I would say with more focus on those features in the next judgment round. So total, you will be having 3 judgment rounds on the final 36 in the final 36 hours of the hackathon at your nodal centers. So in the first round, you should must observe what the judge is liking. You need to observe the psychology. You need to observe the likes and dislikes of the judge. So while you get it in the next judging round, just focus on those features prominently. So this is
I
what I
think
have observed as of now in the hackathon. So now
I think
moving.
that is a very golden advice from Yuvraj to focus on what your judges like. And one simple thing that I would like to add is that also while you are developing what judges liking, also understand what he wants you to change, right? So I think a lot of times your judges will come and give you advices to think in this direction. And sometimes we think I don't think so. Judges say what judges are saying is right, and you do not make those changes. I think following advice to the tip everything that your judge is saying makes the biggest difference in this hackathon. So whatever your judges are coming and they will definitely come and advise you something, right? Just take that advice and implement it no matter what, right? So thank you so much. I think we should move to the next slide. So I think we should not waste a lot of time in telling you what a good team really is. I think you already know that a diverse team is something that helps you win this hackathon. So your team should definitely have a back-end person, a front-end person, then a person who is good at maybe some kind of ML or blockchain or some kind of different technology, and finally also a person that has a good communication skill as well, who can actually tell your idea to the judges. If you make a very good, very good product, but you are not able to sell it, you won't be able to reach further into this hackathon. So you really need to have that person as well. So definitely you should look into a diverse skill set as well as strong communication in at least some of your teammates as well. Yeah, moving to the next slide.
Yeah, I would also like to add that if you're already following the reverse approach, then you would might be having the team ready by now.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, so here comes the important thing. So we'll share the template of idea submission. Trust me, this is the
This
hardest.
template is also available on the official website of Smart India Hackathon. If you want, you may download it from there as well.
Yeah, so the basic template is there, but now what we are going to share is the example of the winning PPT of SIH. So I think we should spend a little bit time here, around 5 minutes,
Yeah.
understanding how this PPT works. Because I am telling you the biggest thing, the biggest challenge that you have to tackle is not the internal hackathon. I think if your idea is good, you will pass that hackathon, and not even the winning of the hackathon. The biggest problem is going from 500 to top five, and that is where our PPT shine because as I already told, that we were blessed to actually have four of our ideas getting to the top five out of 500. So we had the most number of selections. So I think using this template, this idea submission PPT, is a great example of how you should use this because it has already been proven very good for our team, right? So if we move to the next slide. All right. So first of all, before sharing a PPT that helped us win, here's a PPT from another college student and how he made it. So if we move to the next page, Yuvraj, just click yeah here because if no, move back. Next slide. You will see an option to move to the next page in this page. Yeah, click there, click there.
Okay.
Up, up, up.
Wait a second.
Uh,
Actually, I think I'm facing some
yeah.
internet
I think
issues.
the four bars that are appearing,
Just a
click on the
second. Just a
second bar.
second. Yeah.
Yeah, that is right. Yeah, so here is what they have built. And I think even after they, were selected for the final round, I don't think so. This is a good example of a PPT. What you see here is a lot of text. And when a person opens your PPT, he does not have 4 minutes to read all the things that you have written. They have to check 500 PPTs as well. So this is not a good example. I don't get what he's trying to make with the diagram that he has shown here. Right. So this is not a good example of PPT. Move to the next page of this particular PPT. Yeah. Also, the second slide was completely empty. I really don't understand how this guy, managed it. But I really think this is an example of not a very good PPT. You should not have a PPT like this. There are no good fonts. Most of the things are paragraphs and not pointers, and a very bad, I would say, flowchart as well. Now, if we move to the PPT that
Aesthetic sense.
aesthetics as well, right? So I moved to the PPT that our team Kavach made, and this was the winning idea as well. Next slide.
Yeah.
So here is the slide that we made. You see that from the starting as well, we have incorporated our logo as well. This was not required. We did it so that we can have more aesthetics. We had Harper logo as well. We added because it was in heritage, so we added a watermark with a lot of heritage sites as well to actually increase the look. But this is all just for show off. If we move to the next slide, we'll understand why these PPTs are good. Yeah. So here I think you should divide your PPTs into three main parts. First is why. What are the problem thing that people face? Why are you making a solution? So you should definitely add the problems. What is I think someone is annotating. I would really request not to do that because I think we are all having a very important discussion over here. So first of all, I think we should discuss what are the problems. Why are you making a solution, right? So as you can see, as if I'm a mentor or I am judging this PPT, I just look at it. I see what is the problem. Okay, history at stake. Okay, I understand that they are talking about how history can be at stake. I understand what they are talking about, but just by reading the bold things: vandalism, cleanliness and hygiene, and tourist management. Just by reading the bold one words, I understand the problems that are there. And if I want to dig deeper, then there are definitely more pointers under that. Now, coming to our solution, the heritage shield, there are again four very simple 2-3 word headlines. After reading that, I get a clear idea of what the solution really is. Okay, so there is AI vandalism surveillance, there is litter detection, there is reverse loss and found, and QR-based ticketing system. I understood what they are trying to make. And even after that, you see the photos that were added. We have definitely showed a lot of things just by the visuals of it. Even in just 5 seconds, a person will understand, okay, they are trying to solve the problem of vandalism by using AI to detect it, right? So I've already grabbed the interest of the judge right now. Now, if I was not able to understand what is reverse loss and found, I can just read it in the second part. Okay, so this is a system to retrieve misplaced personal items of tourists and detect thefts. So I'm really intrigued by now. Okay, these guys are doing something good. I've also included all the tech stacks that we're using. So I think you guys can take a screenshot of this. I've also shared this with our mentor, Prashant Singh Rana sir. I think he'll be sharing with you all this as well in the groups as well. But I think you should definitely understand how this works. So why, how, and now we move to the next slide, which is more important slide. Yeah, so now comes a very important thing as well. There should be a very good flow chart. So this is a technical flow chart right now, which tells how the things will work. You can add this or another type of flow charts as well, but whatever suits you the most. Right. Also, one thing I forgot to mention, if we move to the last slide, a very important thing, guys, to note here is you do not have to include any kind of hardware that you have developed or any kind of AI model that you have already developed, because it is in a hackathon at the end of the day. You just have to show what is your expected outcome and not what your things have already been made. If you are taking anything pre-made in this hackathon, you will be automatically rejected at this stage. So only thing that you can add is your expected outcomes. If you're developing a website, show them a UI and tell it very clearly, this is our expected outcome. Do not tell it that we have already made it. Even if you have made it, you have to keep it safe it with you that yes, you have made it. And you can tell that in an internal hackathon, it adds benefit while you are participating in college. But while you are submitting this idea to SIH, make sure that you definitely do not include anything that shows that you have already made the whole project, right? So next slide. I think we have understood that we should always have the showstoppers. If you understand what these showstoppers are, these are just the USPs or unique selling points of your idea. What uniqueness you have added from everything that existed before. So interesting story. So we both, as I already told you, Yuvraj and I were already friends, and our all the teammates were already friends. So we broke up into two teams. Then we won this hackathon. After that, under the guidance of our mentors, we actually applied for patents in both the things as well, and that is also in the process. And then after that, we have also started a startup. Both the teams have started another two startups under the same guidance, and those startups are also funded by the government of India, right? So this winning this hackathon has definitely paved a very good path for both the teams, and it will definitely create wonders for you as well if you really work hard to win this hackathon. That definitely pays off, I guess. Right. So lastly, I would like to tell you that you should also include your dependencies of what things will be required after your system is actually deployed. And yes, as I already told, you can show an example of UI, not developed website or server, right? So I think that was it from my side. I think we have covered how to build a very good PPT, and I would like to know if you have any questions left at the end of this session. Moving ahead. So I think
Right.
we have.
I think Gopal has inculcated a lot of enthusiasm and inspiration by now. So I would just like to add one more point into it. So yeah, this template will be consisting of total 4 slides. Out of those 4 slides, you will be having just 2 slides to describe your problem, your solution, and your approach. So these 2 slides are the deciding factor of you from being from being in those 500 teams to going to those 5 teams in the grand finale.
Definitely, you're correct. Okay, so this is the last thing about this workshop. If we just pause it for a second, and I am not sure if the audio is coming. Yuvraj, if you can share your screen once again, or just move.
Actually, just let me play it.
Greetings, everyone. The team covers.
Okay, just pause for a second. I'll explain why this video is here.
We aim at protecting the past and securing it.
Yuvraj, if you can pause it for a second. Yeah, so I'll just tell you guys why this video is here. So while you are submitting your idea, there is also an option to add a video. And we really encourage every one of you to make a video similar to what we have made. So we actually ended up, wasting a lot of time in it. It doesn't have to look this good, but what you have to do is just make a video and tell your solution and show it to them why you are making it. and this creates the most impact, I'm telling you guys. So if you have a video, you are definitely way ahead of a lot of people out of those 500 teams, right? So if we can play it once again from the starting.
Yes, sure. Even if you can just make a video by explaining your presentation on a smart board or on a screen or on a monitor, even that is more than sufficient, I think.
Yeah, so restart it.
Our heritage sites are our cultural treasure. Generations after generations, we have appreciated the beauty of these marvelous structures. We have walked around parks and have been in awe of the architecture. However, sometimes there is this heartbreaking sight. We see walls of these architectural sites being drawn and scribbled upon by something. This is vandalism. Vandalism refers to damaging and defacing the public properties illegally. Vandalism not only damages the physical structure, it also robs our future generations from being able to see the city. We, being the students in technology, decided to brainstorm upon it. And we have come up with a groundbreaking, brand new, and a unique solution to prevent vandalism.
And we call it Heritage Shield, an all-encompassing system that takes over the complete management and surveillance of the whole monument. We start with vandalism and litter detection that will use AI models running over the currently placed CCTV cameras in the monuments. For the first time ever, we will implement a system that can trace any misplaced items and then track their respective owners. All of this will come under our unique QR-based ticketing system that will also detect faces at the time of entry into the monument.
Now we'll show how we're planning to implement the artificial intelligence model to prevent vandalism. We're planning to use YOLO Widget, which will detect vandalism and differentiate it from the existing posters, informative posters, and the existing textures of the heritage site. When the vandalism is detected, the model will check if the body pose of the person aligns with the increasing size of the coordinates of vandalism. If it matches, person is tagged as an offender. If the data set of their face scan is available,
I think Yuvraj, the video is lagging. You can skip it. I think people got the idea, right? Skip the video. You're not audible. Your mic is on mute. So I think a lot of you guys got an idea about what the video should look like. So it should definitely just tell why you are solving the problem and how you are doing that. Do not include anything again that you have already made. Keep it for the final day of the hackathon, even if you have made it. Just showcase that why you are trying to solve this and how you're planning to do that, and not how you have done it, right? So I think that was it from the video side as well. If we move to the next slides. Next slide. Yuvraj, you can move to the next slide. Yeah, so here was the final product as well. Just wanted to show you guys. So this is our pause, right? I think you must have seen that a lot of times that there is a lot of vandalism. So we use that to, detect this vandalism. We use pose detection as well to find out who the culprit was. And this was our whole idea. It is still completely working, and we are very proud to have this. We have also applied for a patent on this. So if we move to the next slide. Yeah, so here
Guys, I
is,
just request you to scan this QR code. I have uploaded the video on YouTube.
yeah, so I think to just minimize the time wastage, we have uploaded the video
Actually,
for safety sake.
our video was a bit lengthier, so I have uploaded it on to the YouTube. You may view
So
it.
if you, yeah, so you can take a screenshot of this screen and then check it out later once this workshop is over.
I'll also share this video with Rana sir. He will share among all of you.
That is great. I think so. You got the idea about PPT making, the video making, and all the structure of the hackathon as well. And now I think we'll just, if you move to the next slide, what is remaining, Yuvraj?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I think now we'll have our notes by our mentors who really helped us, achieve everything that we could have done till now from these hackathons. Like we have won more than 7 hackathons so far, to having patents or research papers, then finally moving to having a funded startup. So I think this will not be possible without both the mentors that we have here. So Rana sir and Sachin sir, if you would like to tell anything about this hackathon to our students?
Sachin, please go ahead. You are on mute.
Okay. So thank you, Gopal and Yuvraj, and thank you for this meeting, and it was very insightful. I just want to tell all the students who is just looking for SIH 2024 is try to see is not like a hackathon. Try to take it as like a kind of a challenge that you want to sell some product, something like that. So the first thing is you just need to understand the psychology also to convince a judge in hackathon. It's required more like a blend of clear communication, solid preparation, and that's a strategic presentation. So that is very much required. Let's say, for example, first you need to understand the criteria. So first is knowing the judge criteria. Second, tailor your presentation. Then second would be you should go with the presentation in more like a storytelling. So they start with a problem statement, then you explain the solution, and then you show the impact of that solution that might improve the life in a social cause or in some other, let's say, in defense industry or whatsoever. Third is what I want to add is you just understand that you should demonstrate functionality. Let's say you should show some videos. That's what Gopal has already said, and maybe live demo if it is. If you have some hardware oriented product, go for live demo. Well prepared beforehand, and then showcase your best output there on the live feed in the real time, so they get more excited, right? And also something you try to engage with the judge. That is maybe I can say it's fourth or fifth criteria, because until you have a kind of anticipated questions, it will help in order to let's understand whether just what you exactly did, and then some chemistry will be developed, and then they are more curious about that product. It's all about whether the judge got excited about seeing your product or getting the solution what they want. So it will give more like a probability of getting you in the upcoming let's say rounds and something like that, right? And maybe fifth one is you can just show your team collaboration, right? Maybe you highlight your teamwork and you diverse, which should have a diverse skills, as Gopal has already said. So I think that 4 to 5 points is very important. And yeah, then I think that is from my side only.
Thank you, Sachin. Thank you for the insight. So class, let me share my screen. So this is the email I sent to all the students that can with the journal instructions, some PPTs, some slide, and some YouTube videos. So I'm expecting all the students should go through thoroughly. So we are planning for the internal hackathon by 31st August or maybe 1st September, because 31st August is the Saturday, and 1st September maybe the I think Sunday is there. And the instruction for the judging I will communicate within 2 or 3 days. And the most important part is about PPT part, because we need to select a team, and that team need to so class, you need to pitch your idea through PPT. So kindly use the SIH template, because this time they changed the template. I think 7 PPTs are there. So kindly stick to the template only. Don't add or delete any number of PPTs. जो उन्होंने बोला है वही करना है. Now this is very important during the presentation. If prototype is ready of any form, a small video is there, small prototype is there, so that will an advantage for in your presentation. And pitching is everything, because everyone watching Shark Tank, so the game is pitching. So you need to pitch your idea very well to the internal during internal hackathon. So we will take care about your experience, your pitching level, your team grouping. So वो चीज हम judge करने वाले हैं. And during presentation, we are expected all members should be present. एक दो कम हो जाए तो no issues चलेगा, but try करिए आप सारे present रहे. And we need to select a single team, and end of the day, a team can apply for 2 problem statements. Okay, so we will register the team leader only, and then it is the responsibility of the team leader to register their complete team, and they need to apply for the problem statement and apply the upload the PPTs. So apart from this, so this is the instruction I already mailed to you on Thapar email ID, and the date is 22nd September, 22nd August. तो ये मेल आपको हमारे विनय गौड़ा सर से आई होगी तुम्हें. So kindly go through the mail, and we need to select 30 teams for this. And the thing is that last year we shortlisted 100 teams, but after the first round of the internal hackathon, first round of the SIH, so only 6 teams are selected for the SIH round. So there is a loss of 96 ideas. So we want that you should choose out of the box problem statement to avoid the जो common problem है उनको छोड़िए, उनको नहीं करना है, because if you will let's suppose there is a problem statement and SIH people need to select only 5 or 6 teams, and if they get the team, let's suppose a problem statement get 150 submissions, and they get the 20 they get the 5 or 6 team in 20 only, the remaining team are by default they are rejected. But let's suppose you choose a one problem statement and that got only 5 submissions, so means 100% selection, because I know very well कि if you got selected for the final round तो जीत के ही आओगे. तो हमें का सबसे पहला ऑब्जेक्टिव है कि इन 30 टीम्स में से हमें मैक्सिमम सिलेक्शन अपने इंटरनल हैकेथन उस फर्स्ट राउंड को क्लियर करना है, सो दैट यू कैन डायरेक्टली लैंडेड इन द फाइनल फेज. ठीक है, तो प्लीज इफ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चन क्यूरी यू कैन टेक द गाइडेंस फ्रॉम ऑल दीज टीम मेंबर्स. SIH विनर्स है हमारे यहाँ पे, से वी हैव दीपांशी ऑल्सो. ठीक है, तो ये सारी चीजें आपको ध्यान में रखनी है. अपना प्रॉब्लम क्या है, कैसे सेलेक्ट करना है, प्लीज उसको थोड़ा सा गो थ्रू करिए, बिकॉज इफ अ प्रॉब्लम इज अ कॉमन प्रॉब्लम तो सभी के लिए कॉमन है, वो सभी उसी के लिए अप्लाई करेंगे. तो ट्राई टू अवॉइड LLM प्रॉब्लम, मशीन लर्निंग प्रॉब्लम, प्रिडिक्शन प्रॉब्लम, इनको अवॉइड करिए, क्योंकि राइट नाउ फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट ईयर स्टूडेंट टू थर्ड ईयर स्टूडेंट दे और आर यूज LLM, चैट GPT, रिकमेंडेशन, ये यूज करते हैं. एंड I also encourage you to participate in hardware part, because there are two sections, software part and hardware part. Always hardware में हमारी number of teams कम जाती है. So I recommend all of you, if you go for the hardware part, so that is the biggest advantage कि हमारे अच्छे selection के chances रहेंगे. ठीक है, so now this is all from my side. दीपांशी, तुम कुछ ऐड करना चाहोगे?
So it was a really amazing session by Gopal and Yuvraj. I mean, काफी tips actually तो golden लगी मुझे भी. And another tip जो सचिन सर ने दी थी कि you need to connect with your judges. I mean, जब हम गए थे participate करने के लिए तब राना सर told us one very important tip कि whatever feedback your judges give you, just try to note it down and implement it in the next round. Because you never know कब वो same judges दोबारा तुम्हारे पास आ जाएंगे. And the same thing happened with us, and they were really impressed कि हमने वो चीजें implement कर ली थी. But other teams were not able to do that. So that gave us a lot of edge, and that helped us in winning, I would say. But yeah, really amazing session. I mean, you guys really got the golden tips, जो हमें शायद नहीं मिली थी उस time पे. But now I can really see it. Yeah, we are doing good.
Thank you, Dipanshu. So this is the registration Google form हमने already share किया हुआ mail पे. So this is the only link that you need to fill, and I am requesting team leader only need to fill. तो अगर आपसे अगर गलती से भर गया तो काइंडली रिफिल इट अगेन. लेट्स सपोज कोई टीम मेंबर चेंज करना है, प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट चेंज करनी है, बट वी विल कंसीडर ओनली द लेटेस्ट सबमिशन. ठीक है, क्योंकि हमें सब कुछ बहुत 29 अगस्त इज द लास्ट डेट फॉर द अप्लाइंग. एंड एक हमने चैट ग्रुप बनाया हुआ है व्हाट्सएप फॉर क्विक कम्युनिकेशन, सो यू कैन ऑल्सो ज्वाइन इट. सो दैट इज फ्रॉम आवर साइड. सो गोपाल, युवराज, Sachin, anything you want to add?
So I think, sir, it's time that we take the doubts. So thank you so very much, sir, Sachin sir, Rana sir, for your very important information that you shared, as well as some very important insights as well into this hackathon. And also thank you so much, Dipanshi Didi. I would once again tell you that, yeah, that is the most important part, that you follow what the advice your mentors are giving you while you are in the hackathon. But yes, as Rana sir mentioned, सबसे important part होता है selection into the top 5. उसके बाद जीत के ही आते हैं ज्यादातर लोग, right? So to do that, I have given you a very good guidelines on how to make, very good PPTs. I'll ask Rana sir to share that in the group as well, so you can take a reference from that. One important thing to note: please do not take the same idea because अगर आपने हमारा युवराज का same idea apply किया, you will get disqualified obviously because they check it from the winners of the last year. So think on the similar lines, or taking ideas that are sometimes unique, or sometimes which are not as clear. बहुत simple नहीं होने चाहिए, as Rana sir already mentioned. So I got one doubt, especially coming up again and again, that is, what should we do with the prototype? Is it allowed or is it not allowed? So यार बहुत simply मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ. See, there are two parts: internal hackathon and SIH. So in SIH, it happens as an real hackathon, and in a real hackathon, you are required to be on the uh, place that the offline hackathon is happening and develop your solution there. तो अगर आपने वहां पे अपना प्रोटोटाइप पहले दिखा दिया कि यार मेरा एक हार्डवेयर सोल्यूशन रेडी है, in your video or maybe in your photos in the PPT, you will be disqualified. But while you are participating in internal hackathon, we always encourage people to actually not only submit an idea, but also sometimes bring a prototype or just a website or anything that you have already built. Because उससे हमें पता चलता है कि हाँ यार ये उन टॉप 30 में जगह डिजर्व करते हैं. Like two things I would like to mention. यहाँ पे दो बहुत बड़े चेंजेस हैं. Last time 100 teams ने participate किया था and only 6 teams got in, right? So now we are already down to 30 teams. So competition in the internal hackathon is also going to be very hard. So be prepared for that. Have a very good PPT. Follow the PPTs that has been circulated to you via email, right? You have to make it in 7 pages if the pages are 7. And also, as Rana sir told, that after moving to like top 30, आप वहाँ पे apply करते हो, and वहाँ पे भी you must only submit just 2 ideas. That is something which is different from last time where you were allowed to submit as many ideas you wanted. So definitely consider कौन से सबसे strong ideas हैं and only take those 2 ideas, right? So I think that was it from my side. If Yuvraj, you found a doubt that you would like to address, yeah.
Yeah, actually, someone is asking that from where we can get the data set of the problems. I think you want to ask that from where we can access all the problem statements that the SIH is providing this time. So it is all the problem statements are listed on the official website of Smart India Hackathon. I think Rana sir has already shared the link, the website link of the Smart India Hackathon. Kindly go and check that. So around, I think 159 problem statements are there in the software domain this year, and around 59 statements are there in the hardware domain. So, sir, someone is asking that Derabasis students need to come to Patala campus for the internal hackathon or not?
हम उनका ऑनलाइन अरेंजमेंट कर देंगे. Don't worry about the Derabasis campus. Make your team registration and we will give you the preference. Okay, and we will arrange the online presentation.
Yeah, and someone is asking that can first year students participate? So certainly first year students can participate, can participate, and I would also like to tell you that our Team Sanket, was having one first year student with us, and he did a great job all through this event, all through the pitching, to the to building as well, and everything. So the year of your graduation is not at all in limit. Either you are in a first year or you are a fourth year student, so you can participate freely. And one thing more I would like to add. Yeah, sorry, sir. Sorry. Please continue.
No, I just want to add one more point, especially what happens whenever the student who are going to pitch some hardware products, something hardware solution, there is some possibility that they are in a rush to make a presentation at the last time, and the judge who is sitting, let's say in the internal hackathon, might not get that, let's say in that shape. So what happens? Try to go with the direct PPT or direct video demonstration, rather than if you don't able to prepare your presentation, you go with the video if you have something working demo. Try to convince your internal hackathon judge that I have made this, so that sometimes what happens, we don't want to miss any team that might have a good solution, but maybe there is a possibility of missing out, right? So try to make sure, if you think your product is good, your solution is very good, try to reach out. If you think that you haven't got that enough time, or you prepare the PPT at the last time, so please be open, be free to ask us, me, Rana sir, whoever your mentor is. So we are always open to your queries, your suggestions, and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that is completely correct, Sachin sir. Also, one doubt from Aditya is that how strict is the last round of SIH? Do they check everything in the tech stack as well? So yeah, Aditya, the last round is pretty extensive. they go ahead and check everything out in your product. They, like, for us, it was vandalism detection, right? So they drawed a lot of things and checked if the vandalism detection was working or not. And we had two websites as well, one for ticket booking and one for reverse lost and found. And they wanted to check if everything end to end was working or not. Even if the nav bar had an about button, it should click, and it should not return a pound symbol, right? It should have a content in that, or do not add it at all, right? So definitely would say that you should be very thorough with
I
your
would
final.
also like to add another point to whatever Gopal has said. So if you ask this thing that do they go very deep inside the solutions and do they ask very typical questions? Yes, they can. But there is a plus point that a judge has his own domain area or his own expertise or own area of expertise. Do not argue with him in the area of his expertise. Okay, just tell him your USPs that do not belong to his area of interest or his area of expertise, and he'll listen to them with more curiosity. He'll be excited more towards those things which are new for him. This is basic, I would say, human psychology or human mindset. You are like more excited towards those things which you hear for the very first time. So like just explaining you once again the structure of judgment rounds that I explained earlier. So in the very first round, just make sure that you cover all the aspects on the horizontal ground, just cover all the aspects, all the features that your solution can provide or your approach include. So while going towards the final round, just stick to those features and those points which is exciting your judge the most. So that's it.
Yeah, that is correct. Thank you so
Add
much, Yuvraj.
something more on this.
Yeah,
The same
definitely.
happened with us, but generally what they do is they gather a lot of judges from different domains and put them together in one team. So you have to be like, an all-rounder in everything. You have to have a really good UI and you have to have a working backend. So it's not like if you get a backend guy, you can just give away the UI. You can't do that. You have to be all-rounder in it.
Yeah, I think we discussed everything about what this SIH is all about, and I think we have solved most of the queries as well. If you still have any queries, you can connect with us on LinkedIn. You can search our names, Gopal Agarwal, Yuvraj Saini, and Dipanshi Didi as well. So you'll find us on LinkedIn, and we'll definitely help you out in any questions. One question that I see here is how first year sprints can apply. So you just have to form a team, and you have to go to the same process. You'll get the link for registration, the Google form link as well in your activity space groups as well as your mail. So you can do that. Yeah. So I think
There a lot of students are asking the same question again and again, that what the judges will look into while the internal hackathon is taking place.
We will post the guideline in the tomorrow, day after tomorrow.
yeah. So I think here we have discussed everything, and I would really like to thank you, Raj, for being here, especially our mentors.
Sorry to interrupt.
Sure,
Just
sure.
one good question I came across. So someone is
Yeah.
asking that how critically scalability is judged. So I think that is a deal breaker. Your idea should be practically feasible and must be scalable according to the market as well. That is very important factor, and it is judged very critically.
Yeah, definitely. And someone is asking for LinkedIn, so we'll share that in groups if you really want that. So other than that, I think we have solved most of the questions here. Language required. So I think this is a question that I don't think so has any relevance. You do not have to have a particular language, C++ or anything. You have to make a solution and it should work at the end of the day. So yeah, I think that was it from our side. I think we shared a lot of things that if we knew before, starting this hackathon journey, we would have, had a lot less problems that we faced. So I think this was a very good ground for you all to develop. And I am looking forward, like I am so happy that more than 200 people are still here in this meeting. So I really love the enthusiasm that we have here. So thank you everyone for joining in us so late. Thank you our mentors, Sachin sir and Dr. Rana sir as well, to be here and guided us to her whole life as well. Thank you, sir, for joining here. Thank you, Yuvraj, and thank you, Dipanshidi, for joining. And thank you, everyone here who was here listening to everything that we share today. I'm looking forward to a lot of people participating, all these 30 teams that get selected from internal hackathon actually going and winning and raising Thapa's name even to the greater heights. Thank you so much everyone for joining. Good night.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
You've been a great
Thank
audience.
you.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you. Good
Thank
night.
you.
Good night. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Good night.